drive in. Their first touchdown drive was after the turnover, short field. Now I think John Harbaugh would like to see this young offensive line start to take over the games the way the Ravens have done in recent years. The Ravens' approach is get the lead, hold the lead, and the way they do that largely in the second half of games is the offensive line wearing opponents down. That's the best case scenario for this team. Tyler Batty on the kick return, 2 yards deep in the end zone, and the rookie 6th-rounder will get out to the 20-yard line. So as we take a look at this offensive line, this is the likely opening game start with Ben Powers as the question mark at left guard. You hope Ronnie Stanley is back and healthy. The first-round draft pick Tyler Linderbaum was not playing tonight with a foot injury. Kevin Zeitler, the veteran at right guard. Morgan Moses, the newcomer veteran free agent at right tackle. The battle is left guard. Ben Powers has the edge so far in training camp, but that job is still on. And we'll show you the depth of that offensive line after this opening play of the drive. Tyler Huntley, Justice Hill in the backfield. Give it to Hill, running behind Likely, and Hill spins his way out to the 27-yard line. That's a nice 7-yard pickup. Back to the offensive line. It's not normal for NFL teams to keep 10 offensive linemen, 8 or 9, but John Harbaugh likes this depth so much. You could see these 5 guys or others in the mix because they're going to keep 10, I think.
He likes them, and he's trying to figure out what combination is going to be the best for this football team. And that's still in question going into even this preseason game and into the regular season. Yes, if everybody's healthy, I'm pretty sure they have an idea who they want to start on week 1. But these guys can all play. They can all play in the National Football League.
So Tyree Phillips in the backup mix. He was the guard who had the block of the touchdown. Tyler Huntley going deep near sideline, just over the outstretched hands of Benjamin Victor, who laid out but could not pull it in.
If Benjamin Victor just keeps running, and what we always say, don't leave your feet. Keep running through the catch. If you run through the catch, that other step can get him closer to the football. Maybe his hand gets on it and he can bring it down.
You had world-class track speed, so I'm guessing you understood you can run faster than you can fly.
You definitely can. I'm not a bird, so I can't tell you that.
Maybe not Superman, but everybody else. So costly lesson for Benjamin Victor, and the Ravens look at a 3rd down and 2. Justice Hill will take the pitch, gets the edge, gets the first down, but a flag is down from the backfield.
And Justice Hill has a little burst to him. I mean, he got to the sideline a lot faster than Mike Davis, who when they ran that same toss sweep in the first quarter, Mike took a little bit longer to get there.
Holding. Offense. Number 80. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
So there's the rookie mistake by the tight end, Isaiah Likely.
He has to learn how to hold. You can hold, and they do hold.
Now that is a veteran right there, ladies and gentlemen. Rod Woodson weighing in, not with he has to learn not to hold. He has to learn how to hold. I love that.
You got to have your hands inside. If you have them inside, you can hold. If you have them outside, you cannot.
4th-round pick out of Coastal Carolina. I can promise you, he did not see this caliber of talent when he had to block at Coastal Carolina. He sets in the slot here as the Ravens are backed up 3rd and 12 at their own 18. Huntley expecting blitz pressure, and here it comes. Throws quickly, complete. And Isaiah Likely stretches out to the 27-yard line, but he'll be 3 yards shy of the first down. I like the bounce back of the young man. He's been impressive in training camp. One play after making a penalty, he comes up with a catch and almost extended it for a first down.
Yeah, a deep set route. You know, just going over the middle of the field, sitting down in between the zone. Great job at throw catch, and he almost broke the tackle for the first down.
Pickup of 9, and the tackle is the key word because that's what we don't see in training camp. So when you evaluate young players and you see a kid like that who can catch a ball in a crowd when he knows he's going to get hit, coaches start to feel a lot more comfortable about his role come September.
And the quarterbacks will be more comfortable throwing the football.
Jordan Stout punting to Kyle Phillips. Stout will make that unreturnable as he hit a beautiful tight spiral. All put it out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Tied at 7, 12-18, first half on the Ravens Game Day Network. Tied at 7 here in the opening half at M&T Bank Stadium in the preseason opener. Mike Davis for the Ravens, getting the only Ravens touchdown. 5 carries, 22 yards. And a nice edge run for the sideline, and then of course powering his way to the goal line. What do you see from this kid that says, all right, he belongs?
Well, he's a 7-year vet. He's 5'9", he's 220 pounds. He can bring a physical presence to this offense that they need. When you have a running game, yes, you got J.K. who's going to be coming back. You got Lamar who's so finessing, he can make you miss. But you want a physical presence, and I think Mike can bring that.
And look out as Malik Willis finds his man inside the Ravens' 30-yard line, coming down with the reception on the biggest play of the game so far is Racey McMath.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Pepe Williams, and Pepe again, he let him go, so he turns, but look when he turns how he left the receiver. He did it the first time around, and the ball was overthrown. This time he does it, and the ball's thrown right on the money, and you better believe Jefferson is telling him, hey, Pepe, I need you to stay outside. Excuse me, Seymour was the guy.
Seymour Playmore. 1st and 10. Titans inside the Ravens 30. Hassan Haskins will churn for about 3 as we go back to that.
So watch
48-yard pass connection.
Watch when Seymour turns. He turns and looks for the ball. He fades where he's looking. He needs to find the receiver because the quarterback is throwing the ball to the receiver, not to him. And if he can do that, you better believe that Jefferson is telling him, I need you to find the receiver first before you look back for the football, so you can stay with the receiver, stay connected to him.
Now Tennessee looking at a 2nd and 5 at the Ravens 23. Malik Willis on a 48-yard pass completion to get this drive rolling. Off the play fake, has to sling it sidearm, finds his tight end, and he tumbles forward. He'll be close to the first down, and they'll mark it as a first down at the Ravens' 18-yard line. As Tommy Hudson will move the chains for Tennessee.
Yeah, and the defense itself has to make sure they talk pre-snap and post-snap. And that's one thing I would like to see, more communication from hand signals to pure voice communication with these guys, post-snap and pre-snap.
Malik Willis started 0 for 3. He has hit on 4 of 4 since. Rookie draft pick out of Liberty. Working from under center. Gives it to Hassan Haskins right up the middle. Only about 2 yards on the play. The Titans getting a look at their projected quarterback of the future. When you draft a quarterback in the high rounds, you automatically become the quarterback of the future. The question just becomes, how soon is the future?
Well,
official timeout on the field.
Official timeout.
It's an official timeout, not a timeout charge to either team, as Mike Macdonald now gets a chance to look at his defense backed up against the goal line.
But the last play we saw Travis Jones, who made the play, the run stop, shedding an offensive lineman, getting to the running back, and that's what they need from their big physical defensive line.
Willis drops to throw, pocket collapsing, hit from behind, and Stephen Means delivers the sack all the way back at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, just a pure speed rush off the edge. Right here, coming off the edge. He's just going to beat that left tackle, knocks his hands down, gets to the quarterback. Oh, man, he was so close to getting a sack strip, and that's what they're going to be talking about. Get to the football and get the sack at the same time.
6-yard loss on the sack puts the Titans in a 3rd and 14. Willis pulls down a high snap. Has time. Now the pocket collapses. He escapes, tucks inside the 20, runs at a 15, and he'll step out of bounds at the 14. As Mike Macdonald's defense puts a stop on the Titans in the Grill Mates red zone, and the kicking team will come on for Tennessee.
Yeah, great job by the back end. Had a little time, but the back end didn't let anybody get uncovered. Made the quarterback scramble, come out of there, make the tackle, make him kick a field goal.
Again, we understand these are not the big stars that you're used to seeing necessarily, but Mike Macdonald, in his first year as a defensive coordinator, is getting a great read of how much of his defense his team is picking up. Randy Bullock's kick is up. And the 33-yarder is good. And for the first time this evening, Tennessee is in front. The Titans lead at 10-7 on the Ravens Game Day Network. (10-7) Tennessee, 8:19 to play in the first half. We saw from first-round pick Kyle Hamilton some of the skills that made him so attractive to the Ravens on draft day.
Yeah, just watch Kyle Hamilton in the middle of the field. He's sitting there, no one can throw the football, but watch the ground he covers to the quarterback to force him out of bounds along with Jefferson. That's one of the main reasons he was a first-round pick. He's so diverse in what he can do. He can cover tight ends down the field, cover receivers down the field. He covers so much ground from the middle of the field to the sideline. That is not normal.
He's every bit of 6'4", and I love the physicality we've seen from him. He didn't have any hesitation sticking his head into a pile to get a fumble. He just dove at the quarterback to make sure he didn't get the first down. So Kyle Hamilton showing a lot of skills tonight.
If you're going to play on this defense, you better be physical.
It may not be the most physical training camp we've ever seen, but it is still the most physical football league you'll find on the planet.
That is true.
Randy Bullock will kick. Tyler Beatty is deep, the 6th-round draft pick, who's shown some flash and burst so far in training camp, looking for a big play on the kicking game. Takes it 3 yards deep, brings it across the 10, 15. Runs out of room shortly after the 20 as we head down to the field. Evan Washburn checking in with more on the Ravens' #1 draft pick, Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, guys, just field level. It kept a close eye on Kyle over the course of the first quarter and a half. And outside of the physical gifts and what you see him do on the field, the poise is what struck me. Guys, there's no moment where he's kind of looking around with that panicked young look, trying to ask too many questions. He's just letting the game come to him. Maturity was also the word that came up when speaking to the staff this week. For such a young player, just has come in here and it kind of feels like a pro from day one.
Evan Washburn, Rod Woodson, Jerry Sandusky with you here on the Ravens Game Day Network, presented by Geico. Tyler Huntley wants to throw down the seam, and it is likely with a sensational grab as he pulls it down and brings it to the turf at the 44-yard line.
That is a great contested catch. First of all, great throw. Great throw, deep over route by Likely, the tight end. And watch him catch it with two defenders. Well, the defender's right in his hand. Another defender coming to hit him, and he still makes the catch.
Ravens quickly on the snap with a short completion to Benjamin Victor on first down as we go back to the big completion to Likely.
Over. I mean, he knows he's covered. He knows there are safeties coming down. He concentrates and he pulls it in. That is a big-time catch.
We've seen nothing but great plays from him in training camp. Huntley throws quickly complete down to the Titans' 47-yard line. That's Mekhi Polk with his second grab of the opening half. And it will set up a 3rd down and 1. Likely tonight, 3 catches, 34 yards. Now this is an offense that we know loves throwing to the tight end. So if you're a defensive coordinator, the first guy you're taking away is Mark Andrews. But you can't take away Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, and Isaiah Likely. You present headaches for coordinators. On 3rd and 1, Justice Hill bounces to the outside, has room. He's to the 40, 35. But a penalty flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
It might be Likely again because he was on that side.
Holding. Offense number 80. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
Okay, the tight end coach needs to tell him, I need you to get your hands. He's right at the top of the screen. He needs to get his hands inside when he's blocked. See how his hands are outside?
Yep.
You have to have your hands inside when they're going to hold. So he has to learn how to hold in the National Football League. And if he can do that, he can be a blocking tight end and a receiving threat.
So the next time we come on camera, which will be later in this half, I'm going to have you demonstrate exactly that technique, because it is a technique. If your hands are outside the shoulder pads, you call it every single time. Here's a pass completion to Makai Polk. Short gain on 3rd and long. He'll only get about 2 to the 45-yard line, and that means Jordan Stout will punt for the 4th time today. So far from Jordan Stout, 3 punts, a 55-yarder, a 56-yarder, and then a 49-yarder that he intentionally angled out of bounds on a tight spiral.
I would like to. We should start counting his hang time, because that's what makes punts so great. Yeah, the distance looks great, but when you can get height and distance with your punt to let your gunners get down the field, man, it makes so much of a difference for your football team.
How about this end over end this time?
Yeah, that's a little different kick. He was trying to coffin corner kick that one.
Titans will have the ball at the 24 when we come back. Tennessee 10, Ravens 7 of the Ravens Game Day Network. Tennessee up 10-7, 5:40 to play in the opening half. We're going back to the Isaiah Likely hold on the play. That's his 2nd hold of the game, and you can see where he grabs the jersey. Nice pin move, but the problem, Rod, is that he is doing what?
He's always outside in the outside shoulders. They're always going to see that. When you're inside here, you got to be inside to grab here, so when they yank, he comes this way instead of pulling from here. All refs are going to see the outside hands. Inside hands, you always get away with it.
And now I need dry cleaning services. Well done, sir. And that is a veteran who knows how to hold. Beautiful night for football as we get the preseason underway here in Baltimore. Next week, the Ravens will be on the road in Arizona before they wrap up preseason here at M&T Bank Stadium in Week 3 against the Washington Commanders. And what a good first half experience for Isaiah Likely. 3 big catches, 2 penalties. John Harbaugh and his staff will have a lot of coaching points to help bring him along, but I think it's pretty obvious this kid can play in this league.
He can definitely play in this league, and he's just got to learn the do's and the don'ts, and he's going to keep growing.
The Titans will start the drive at their 24-yard line. Willis continue to operate at quarterback. Plenty of time. He fires down the far sideline. Nobody there. Excellent coverage. A flag is down on the play as we head down to the field. And Brad Allen, a referee, to find out this is going to be an illegal receiver downfield. Is the preliminary call. John Harbaugh will send the Titans back.
Player downfield. Number 78. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It is a learning curve for a lot of young players as we head down to the field. And Evan Washburn, who was looking in on a coaching session with Isaiah Likely.
He really got it as I hop in now here.
Unfortunately, Evan's microphone cutting in and out. We'll get back to Evan in just a moment as the Titans now look at a 1st and 15. Willis will hand it off, and nothing doing on that Tennessee running game as Julius Chestnut is hit and dropped for a short gain. Aaron Crawford making the penetration from the defensive tackle position.
Yeah, Crawford and 98 again, Mr. Jones, are shedding these offensive linemen, getting to the ball, and when you can find interior defensive tackles to do that, man, that makes the secondary slow down, and they'll be so much better during the season.
And I know Travis Jones has caught your attention a couple of times now for his ability to move blockers and seal holes. 2nd down and 13. Willis will throw from the gun. Pocket collapsing, and he escapes. But he won't get far as he's taken down at the 27-yard line. Malik Willis is a big-bodied quarterback, but he's got some mobility.
Oh, he can run. He can get in and out of the pocket. Those are the unscheduled plays that a defensive coordinator, you just can't game plan for because you just don't know where he's going to go. So you got to have your rules set for your defensive front and your defensive contain guys and tell him don't get outside of that. If he steps up and gets into the running, then we'll gather and come to him and make the tackle.
Now Mike McDonald's defense looking for a stop on 3rd down and 7 with 4:10 left in the opening half. Willis to throw. Flush from the pocket, running to the right. Long throw way off the mark, and it sailed over the head of his target. And the punt team comes on as the Ravens forced Willis out of the pocket. That forced an incompletion, and now the Ravens will have the ball back. And what I like about this scenario is Mike McDonald's defense gives the ball back to Greg Roman's offense to practice the 4-minute drill.
Well, you got a 4-minute drill, but this 4-minute drill is not the sense that you want to keep it for 4 minutes, into the game. This is a 4-minute drill where it's, you're trying to get down the field to score a touchdown or at least a field goal right before the half.
Pepe Williams on the punt return, feels it cleanly at the 15, crosses the 25, 30. He's got room on the sideline, 40, and tiptoes his way all the way out to the 43-yard line is where they're going to spot him. And that is great field position for Tyler Huntley in the offense with 3:51 to work on. A 28-yard punt return off a 58-yard punt. And you'll take that net any day. Tyler Huntley here in the opening half, 11 of 13, 73 yards. One short touchdown drive. He'd like to add a second to that here. In the regular season, the reason I point out the 4-minute drive, in the regular season, the ideal scenario is to consume as much of that 4 minutes to leave as little time left for the opponent at the end of the half.
And you get opening kickoff in the second half.
Justice Hill on the carry, won't get far, maybe a yard.
So it'd be a 2-for-1 basically, where you can go down, hold on to the ball, get a field goal or a touchdown, and you right after that on the second half kickoff you get the ball.
Greg Roman knows this. John Harbaugh pointed it out. In the age of data metrics, one of the great tells, your chances of winning a game increase something like 60% if you score last in the first half and first in the second half. That puts so much pressure on the opponent. Huntley under pressure, he has to run out of the pocket, gets outside the numbers and throws another completion to Isaiah Likely, but they'll say the ball hit the turf.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
All right, do you use your challenge flag?
They said challenge.
Challenge is what Likely's calling for. We'll take a look. Rod, what do you think? His hands are under it.
It looked like his right hand was underneath it.
They're showing it on the smart vision boards at either end of the
he caught
stadium. Yeah, that's a catch.
That's a catch. The ball didn't even touch the ground.
And John Harbaugh will throw the challenge flag.
His right hand was under the ball the whole time.
If it were the regular season, we'd be riding the officials hard. But look, it's preseason for all of us. Everybody's working on their skill set. But what I like is the fact that
Baltimore challenging the ruling of the field of an incomplete pass.
Isaiah Likely not only makes the catch, but he knew where the first down marker was.
Knew where the first down marker was, and he has enough confidence to say, challenge that, coach. I caught that.
And that's showing a little bit of awareness, because there are a lot of rookies who'll say, I caught it, and they have no idea what they did. But he actually did know he had his hands under the ball. So this should be a reception as Brad Allen takes a look at the replay.
The second replay showed that the ball didn't touch the ground, because you can see his hand under it, and the tip of the ball stayed above the ground right here. Right there. See where the hand is under it already? And it can be under it, and once it's under it, it's controlling the ball. It can still touch
the ground, right? As long as you're controlling the ball.
As long as you're controlling the ball with your hand underneath it.
What they're looking for is, does it touch the ground before he has control of the ball? It looks like he has control of the ball before he rolls over and touches the ground. You see Brad Allen checking out the replay. The NFL is always working on increasing the accuracy and the speed of replay. Because if this is a regular season game, it's 3:08, the Ravens are trailing by 3. This is a crucial drive in the execution of this game. You don't want a 5-minute slowdown, taking the air out of the tires, which I find so many games it happens.
Which happens quite a bit in the National Football League. The modern technology, you just have to say, I know, I see it. I see it.
And trust what you see.
And you trust what you see instead of looking at 25 different angles. I mean, New York, I know they see it in New York. They have to be able to tell them here in Baltimore, I see it. The call should be overturned.
The idea is to have it done in about a 60-second window, which they very rarely hit in the regular season. And part of the reason is they want to make sure they're accurate. I understand that. Here's Brad Allen.
After review, the receiver did complete the process of the catch. On the 47-yard line on the Tennessee.
So look, as soon as Isaiah Likely learns to hold, and Rod might be in camp this week teaching it, this kid has a lot to bring this offense, because if you're a defensive coordinator and you've got to figure out how to stop Mark Andrews, Nick Boyle, and Isaiah Likely at tight end,
along with Bateman. So I think this offense has a lot of promise, a lot of skill set players that can do a lot of damage to a lot of defenses in the league.
Tyler Beatty, 6th-round draft pick out of Missouri, in the backfield. Huntley in the pistol. It was the Beatty running behind Ben Mason. Get far, maybe a yard, to the Tennessee 46-yard line. Set up a 2nd down and 9 with 2:43 left in the opening half. Jerry Sandusky, the Hall of Famer. Rod Woodson with you on the Ravens Game Day Network, presented by Geico, or as one Ravens fan called him this week at training camp, Charles Woodson.
Hey, Charles.
Rod and I are walking out to practice, and a group of diehard Ravens fans say, Charles Woodson, can we have your autograph? Rod, I just want to tell you, after 10 years with a name like Jerry Sandusky, it was fun to see somebody else deal with the name game. This should take us to the 2-minute warning. Quick completion to Mekhi Polk.
NFL Plus is here, and this is how you football. Bringing you live out-of-market preseason games, live local and primetime regular season games.
And there goes Cooper Kupp.
45-minute game replays and more.
For the end zone. Chase!
This is the NFL for every fan. Wherever you are, this is how you football. NFL Plus. Start your free trial today.
2 minutes to play, opening half. Ravens trail by 3. Isaiah Likely, 4 catches. 4 catches. A 22-yarder. And Rod, a lot to like about what we've seen from his 4th-round pick.
He has a natural ability in space like this to make guys miss. He can move, he can dip, he can make guys miss in space. But what I really love is that he just catches the football. You know, and we see this one, it's a deep over route. He's going to catch it in traffic. The last one right here, where he works his way back into the hole of the defense. You don't see rookies do that often. They stay there and stay covered. He's got uncovered for his quarterback.
The first down, but spun backwards. Closer to the 40-yard line. That's going to be 4th down and about 2. So as we look at the tight end package for this team, we've got Mark Andrews, Nick Boyle, and Isaiah Likely. I think they are your locks as your top 3.
Pretty good. They're going for it.
And then you have another 4th-round draft pick in Charlie Kohler, who's been out with an injury in training camp so far. Tyler Beatty checks in on 4th and 2. Tyler Huntley will keep it on the read option, gets around the edge, 1st down and more. 30. 25, and Tyler Huntley will keep the drive alive as the Ravens move the chains on 4th and 2. A 14-yard gain and a Ravens 1st down.
Yeah, this is their staple, right? I mean, you're looking at it right here with Tyler. He's gonna fake the handoff, and it's just a power. So you see the 2 guard and tackle coming around, and he gets to read off of those guys. And Greg Roman really didn't want to run it probably this game. But in this situation, it's one of those things they've done so much they can do it in their sleep.
And Jawan Jones had the lead block. Jawan Jones is the backup left tackle to Ronnie Stanley. So a great sign there. On 1st down, Huntley pump fakes once. He'll run, and he won't get far as he slides down right at the line of scrimmage. Clock running, 1:12 left to play. The Ravens have all 3 of their timeouts, but they won't have to use one here. Tennessee is going to have to stop the clock with an injured player. That's Ola Adonai shaken up at the end of the play. We'll stop the clock with 1:10. To go back to that read option, that is a staple play. The inside read option. They fake the inside handoff. The quarterback goes to the outside. But it speaks to the importance of having athletic offensive linemen. Usually your left tackle is leading the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's power football, and they normally run it to the right side. That's their staple. And they're comfortable. They can call this anytime. This is what they love to do. They're very comfortable in doing it. Everybody has to understand that when you pull these 2 linemen, when you pull both these guys, your quarterback is to read. If they're going to kick him out, he can run inside. If they seal him, they can run outside. And they've been doing this since Greg Roman's been here. This is just one of those things that they do extremely, extremely well. They normally run it to the right side. Everybody knows it, but they, you know, I wouldn't think that Tennessee is going to say, they're not going to run it in the preseason. Well, they did. And it's an easy run for them, and it's an easy offensive play for them because they do this thing over and over and over. They just know it like the back of their hand.
And while the fans' eyes are naturally on Tyler Huntley, the coach's eyes are on Jawan James, number 71, and Tyree Phillips, 74. Phillips is in the battle for the left tackle spot. Jawan James is your left tackle until Ronnie Stanley comes back and shows he can stay healthy. So those are big steps for this offense. Raleigh Webb goes in motion. Tyler Beatty tumble down to the 20-yard line. And that will set up a 3rd down. And about 7 with under a minute to play here in the opening half.
And there's no reason for the Ravens to rush. They're trying to run all the clock out and try to get a touchdown beforehand of worst case scenario, a field goal.
Huntley on 3rd down, looking left, throwing, and it is caught. Shamar Bridges pulls it down, and he's got a 1st down at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, Shamar Bridges, a little quick out route and really a nice throw. by Huntley. Gets it outside the bottom of the numbers. Right on the outside of the 9 straight passes. 15 for 17 throughout this first half.
It gives the Ravens a 1st and 10 in the Grill Mates red zone at the Tennessee 14 with 38 seconds left in the half. Huntley lobs it to the end zone, and it is pulled down for a touchdown. Shamar Bridges went up, climbed the ladder, and pulls down the go-ahead touchdown.
And Shamar Bridges is that big.
Coaches love the problem of having more talent than positions. When they're looking for 5 wide receivers and you have 7 guys who show they belong, they love that problem.
Absolutely.
Well, the Geico scoring drive, 10 plays, 58 yards. That's running the 4-minute offense. 3 minutes and 16 seconds come off the clock. They leave the Titans with only 35 seconds left in the half. If this is a regular season game, that is executed perfectly because, as Rod pointed out, the Ravens get the ball first to start the second half.
Well, that was a really solid drive for the Ravens. Executed extremely well. On the 4th down, they went to their bread and butter, that quarterback power to the right side, and they got the touchdown.
It's Jordan Stout handling the kickoff duties. And he shows the leg strength here. He might put that one through the uprights. He just barely missed the uprights. He one-hopped it to Russell Street. This kid has wild leg strength.
Yeah, and Justin Tucker's a little upset that, he's not going to kick off anymore. And, rightfully so. He's a competitor. He's a perennial Pro Bowler. I think he's a future Hall of Famer. But I think it's smart for his career's sake that you let the young fella kick off and you kick the extra points in the field goals when they really, really matter.
The most accurate kicker in NFL history. And he has plenty of leg strength left. He showed that last year in Detroit with a 66-yarder. Malik Willis throws a strikeout to the 45-yard line in front of Pepe Williams. And the Titans trying to get into field goal range with 28 seconds remaining.
Why would the clock should be running? It's not college football.
Brad Allen. Tennessee called a timeout.
Will be 30 seconds.
So the Titans will have 1 timeout remaining. And these are really important scenarios as coaches and players get themselves ready mentally as well as physically for the regular season. Because, again, put yourself into September, right? You've got a 4-point lead. The Titans are trying to get down to the 35-yard line, 30-yard line to set up a field goal shot for Randy Bullock. The Ravens under Mike McDonald are trying to do anything they can to prevent that from happening, and Tennessee has 1 timeout to work with. This is the chess match that I love about football in the fall.
But I think McDonald's is going to learn that he should pull his guys back. They only have 1 timeout now. They got to move the ball for another 20, 25 yards, and make everything be thrown in front of them. Don't let the ball go over your head as a defender.
Willis on the rollout, being pursued, and he'll be hit and dropped in bounds, and the Titans are going to have to burn their final timeout or turf the ball.
Well, that's when you got to tell the young quarterback that he has to throw the ball away, which benefits the Baltimore Ravens. But as a young player, you got to get rid of the football. You can't take sacks in those critical situations. That
is another sack for science, powered by Constellation, as the Tennessee Titans burn their 3rd and final timeout with 23 seconds left in the half. Talked about Travis Jones. That is a big man getting outside the numbers and turning the quarterback in. That is an athlete.
He's played extremely well tonight, getting off blocks again here, running down the quarterback, getting outside of him, making him make a mistake basically, and getting tackled and sacked for a loss.
We've seen a lot of positives in this opening half. The play of the offensive line, the young wide receivers, Travis Jones along that defensive line. Malik Willis has some time, throws the check down, and the Ravens will not be able to get Jordan Wilkins down inbounds. He steps out, stops the clock with 16 seconds left in the half. And the Titans are looking at a 3rd and about 12.
And the way they're playing right now is, which I would have said Mike McDonald should have done the very first play of the drive. Back everybody up, make everything be thrown in front of you, and rally up to make tackles.
And if you can tackle them in bounds, you'll end the half because Tennessee is out of timeouts. Ravens rush 3. Malik Willis is going to be able to set out of a sack from Stephen Means, and Willis has to throw the ball out of bounds with 8 seconds remaining. First half as a defensive coordinator in the NFL for Mike McDonald. Don't think there aren't some butterflies for coaches too when you come to this next level. Mike McDonald is a guy who I remember about 6 years ago as a young position coach. You could tell he was going to be a coordinator in this league. The way he handles himself in practice, the way he handles the players. He's a great teacher, a great communicator. At age 34 now, he is running one of the elite defenses in the NFL. He started on John Harbaugh's staff as an intern, grew into a position coach. A year after serving as the coordinator in Michigan, he is back in Baltimore. After the final seconds coming off the clock to end the half, this punt will trickle out of the back of the end zone as the final second comes off the clock, and we have reached halftime in Baltimore with the Ravens leading it 14-10. Tyler Huntley leading 2 touchdown drives. The second, the most impressive, especially with that touchdown throw to Shamar Bridges. And now we'll see more of the backups in the second half. A great first half to start the preseason for the Ravens tonight. The preseason opener. They lead the Titans at the break 14-10 on the Ravens Game Day Network. Halftime in Baltimore, Ravens in front of the Tennessee Titans 14-10 after an impressive first half by some young players who are battling for positions and perhaps starting positions. Rod, as you take a look at the numbers from the first half, anything jump out at you?
I mean, just the passing downs and the passing yards, and most of it was likely. Just tremendous hand catching ability, catching in traffic. Those type of plays go a long way to a head coach.
First quarter was about the running game, and the first touchdown was courtesy of Mike Davis and the running game. 22 yards on 4 carries. He showed some burst, he showed some power, and he showed a veteran's understanding of how to get to the end zone.
Oh yeah, reading that seal block by Phillips. He's just one of those guys. He's a big physical guy. He can bring that physicality to the run game. And then likely it's just, watch this right here. Just, no. And it goes vertical. I mean, just one of those players just has that natural ability, that natural instinct. And this next play, he's going to run that deep over route. He's going to catch it in traffic. The defender is going to have his hand in there. But it's his last one right here where he works his way back to the quarterback, finds the opening in the defense. You don't see that in rookies.
Rookie on the resume, but a veteran's set of instincts. Shamar Bridges with a go-ahead touchdown to close out the half. Ravens head to the third quarter, leading 14-10. Ravens lead it by 4 as we look to the third quarter here in the preseason opener. Rod, as you reflect back on this first half of preseason, what stands out as the big positive for you?
They took care of the football, and the young players who have an opportunity to show their wares are showing their wares. I mean, likely for sure showed that. Now, outside of the 2 penalties he had, learning how to hold. He needs to learn how to hold.
Keep him humble.
Keep him humble. But then Bridges, you know, in that short fade route, jump over, touchdown, trying to find a mismatch in the secondary, in the red zone for the Ravens. And the defense, I mean, you really think about it, they played extremely well. They got the turnover. They should have had 2. You know, Pepe dropped that one on the sideline. They've done everything right. I think moving in the right direction. Everybody's just nobody gets hurt. Everybody keeps showing their wares, having an opportunity to make the squad.
Head down to the field, and Evan Washburn, who had a chance to watch this game up close in person. Evan, what's your takeaway from the first half?
Well, similar to what you guys saw, and it's backed up by what the head coach saw and just relayed to me. I mean, he's really pleased, guys, with the execution. He said that's what you hope for in preseason game number 1, especially with a lot of young guys playing. Felt like the guys executed. Said the defense was really sharp. Now, he did point to the one big play, downfield, 48-yard pass, a couple penalties, and some missed tackles. But those were in spots. He said as a whole, on both sides, just really pleased with execution and how well the guys played. Just wants to carry that through here into the third and fourth quarter as they continue to bring in more depth in some of these inexperienced young players.
Thank you, Evan. And I think what we have seen here in the first half are the fruits of a new approach to training camp. The defense was aggressive and physical, forcing the turnover that Kyle Hamilton recovered. Mike Davis in the offense. Again, great blocking by Tyree Phillips. All those things that you don't see in training camp without the hitting, we're seeing here tonight. Stephen Means on the sack.
You look at everything. I mean, yes, it's not as physical as training camp, but you're going to have the opportunities to do that in these preseason games.
And the fact that Isaiah Likely is as good knowing when he's going to get hit as when he knows he's not going to get hit, that's a big plus for a young player.
It is.
Ravens close out the half with Shamar Bridges in the end zone on a great throw from Tyler Huntley, and they will have the ball first to start things off here in the second half. So if you can close out the first half with points and open the second half with points. Corey Clement, one of the backup running backs, will get his first touch of the game at the 2. Brings it across the 10. Working outside the numbers, and he is going to be stood up shy of the 20-yard line. Well, we saw Tyler Huntley take all of the snaps at quarterback in the opening half, and his night is done. And coming into quarterback now will be Anthony Brown, a rookie free agent out of Oregon. Played his first 3 seasons at Boston College before transferring to Oregon. Can you imagine, in the age of name, image, and likeness, how much schools like Oregon, who have Phil Knight money behind them, can do? If you were going into college, you could say, yeah, I'm a shoe rep, and you're a millionaire before you play your first college game.
I know. It's crazy. Got to hope that the mindsets of the young athletes in college continue to want to be excellent just because you have money in your pocket. Normally, when you don't have money in your pocket, you're really hungry. So, and your hunger, it feeds you to excel. But when my concern for these young athletes is that they have money in their pockets, and then they're going to probably make more money than some of their position coaches. And how do you tell them what to do, and how do you tell them that they need to keep striving for greatness at a young age? If I would have had $1 million when I was 17,
you wouldn't be nearly as likable.
No, I would. I would be a straight jerk.
Beatty will carry for a second straight play. He'll get out to the 22-yard line, and now the Ravens will be looking at a third down with Anthony Brown. On his first series at quarterback, Tyler Huntley's work for the evening is done. And a quality first half by Tyler Huntley, who closed out the half hitting on his last 10 passes, 16 of 18, 110 yards, and a touchdown pass. And that was a great touchdown pass to Shamar Bridges.
He did a great job last year taking over for Lamar. And he showed his wear that he can take over a game for this football team, and they can win football games with him at the helm. And I think we saw that in the first half.
Anthony Brown and Josh Oliver connect to move the chains at the 29-yard line, and now the Ravens will go up-tempo, no huddle. Anthony Brown with a loft down the sideline, and it is caught by Mekhi Polk as he breaks the midfield stripe. And that was a sensational touch pass by the rookie out of Oregon.
Yeah, just a go. He set the DB down, and he holds off of extending his hands for the ball. So most DBs are saying when he extends, we extend. He held off and caught that ball going to the ground with one arm, and that's a great catch.
23-yard gain of the offense now across midfield with Anthony Brown at quarterback. Raleigh Webb in motion. With the Beatty running along that hash mark. Gets about 2 on the play down to the 46-yard line. Strong physical first half. Now you start to get a chance to test some of the depth as well as the conditioning for some of the players who carry over from the first half. We're seeing Falele, the draft pick, big offensive lineman. Ben Cleveland now in at left guard, in that left guard position battle along with Tyree Phillips. I thought Phillips had a sensational first half.
He did.
At guard. He's now moved to left tackle. So these job battles all taking a step in the right direction. Brown throws another strike down to the 41-yard line. Again, it's Mekhi Polk.
But you talk about Falele. This guy is big, physical, played rugby. One of those guys that just have great feet, big athletic linemen that they've been getting with the Ravens. And, you know, if he can keep growing, he's going to be a really good player in the National Football League.
If he can keep growing, they won't have uniforms to fit him. He's 6'8", 380.
Not in that aspect of growth.
Oh, as a player.
As a player.
Because if he can keep growing, they'll build a circus around him. Here's Beatty on 3rd and short. Got a hole. He's got a first down to the 35-yard line. Well, there are many different ways to get to the NFL.
I mean, look at him. He's 6'8", he's 385 pounds, and he played rugby. But knowing when you play rugby, you have to have good feet.
All right, what other great Raven player, not calling him great yet, but what Raven great was also a rugby player?
I'm thinking of Lodi Nada.
Bingo. So to your point, big man, showing his athleticism. If he can have a career like Lodi Nada, which ends in the Ring of Honor, they found somebody in the draft. Brown under pressure, and it's a tad too high for Mekhi Polk, and a little bit too much flame on that throw.
Yeah, Polk went up with one hand. I mean, he really could have went up with both hands to catch the football.
But I don't know that that qualifies as a drop, but it's the closest thing we've seen. These young receivers have been extremely impressive.
They've done a great job of catching the football tonight.
One of the things I was looking for tonight, because catching a ball when you know you're going to get hit by the next Rod Woodson is very different than catching it in practice in 7-on-7. Here's Beatty off left tackle, nothing much there, maybe a yard or two, and a late flag thrown. It'll be holding against the Ravens.
Is Likely in there again?
No, I think this one might go against Tyree Phillips, judging from his body language after the flag was thrown.
Holding. Offense. 74. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
You can almost always tell it's a hold one because he's the first guy to protest.
And if he held, he has his hands outside
the shoulder.
He has it again. He has it outside again. So,
we need to bring him up in the booth and have him learn from you.
Yeah,
because you notice I have not held since you told me.
I need to show him.
I have had no holding penalties since you taught me. Backs Anthony Brown up into a 2nd and 20. And he's looking to throw a little screen pass. And he gets a nice block there. Get down to the 36-yard line. That time, Tristan Colon with a nice block. Now, Colon is a guy who played some center the last couple of years. An injured Titan player. After a 9-yard gain, we will let the medical staff come on and take a look. With 10:07 to play, 3rd quarter, the Ravens in front, 14-10 on the Ravens Game Day Network.
Mike, welcome field level once again. Big time for the program right now, just getting started with fall camp. What excites you about this year's version of the Terrapins?
You know, last year we were able to take a step forward, and what we want to do is regroup and come back and take a bigger step this year. We've got a group of guys that really care about each other and are really excited about this opportunity we have this year.
You mentioned the group of guys. Is there any special announcement regarding this group that you'd like to make in front of all these people?
You know, this is our rite of pilgrimage, and every year we come here and we give a scholarship out. And so we've got a guy that has given us a great success throughout the last 3 years, holder, punter, and so we want to put Colton Spangler on scholarship this year.
Hey, Colton, congratulations.
M&T Bank Stadium with some serious electricity right now as the Terps talking with Evan Washburn down on the field, giving a walk-on player a scholarship, setting the tone for the Maryland football season ahead. The Terps going to a bowl game last year. Coach Loxley looking for bigger things this year.
You know who's really happy? His parents.
Mom and Dad get a pay raise. Woo. You aren't kidding. Down on the Ravens sideline, a very optimistic.
I just heard the champagne cracked open over
baby. That's a big burden lifted. Congratulations.
Well, that's great for the kid. You're dedicated to the program, and then they give back to you.
What a message to the whole program. When a walk-on earns a scholarship, it says hard work and results get rewarded.
It's rewarded.
That's big in any workplace. This Ravens offense will try to finish off its work on 3rd down and 11 at the Titan 37. Anthony Brown operating out of the shotgun, empty backfield. Titan will bring a blitz up the middle. Brown throws the check down to Josh Oliver. Oliver will move his way down inside the 30. He'll be shy of the 1st down, but well within Justin Tucker range. And this is another opportunity for Jordan Stout, the new punter, to showcase his holding skills. This is the walk-on scholarship award that we were talking about. Mike Loxley letting his punter and one of his great special teamers know that he is now on full ride. Great night for the program. What an even better night for that young man's parents. 47-yard field goal drive from the left hash. The hold is good. The kick is up, and Justin Tucker is, well, Justin Tucker. It's right down the middle. And with 9:06 to play in the 3rd quarter, the Ravens extend their lead to 17-10.
It's incredible that Justin Tucker, listen to this. He's from 20 to 29. He's 76. He's never missed in his career from 20 to 29. From 30 to 39, he's 85 of 88. From 40 to 49, he's 90 of 100. So that means he misses one a year. And then 50 to 56, he's 13 of 15. The guy, that's remarkable. And that's the reason I said that I think he can arguably be a first ballot Hall of Famer and be the first true kicker to do that.
Amazing when you think that the first kicker in the modern era in the Hall of Fame was Jan Stenerud.
Right.
His field goal percentage was roughly 67%. Justin Tucker is just shy of 92%.
It's crazy.
He is a difference maker and a weapon, and has been since the Super Bowl season when he was a rookie. Jordan Stout with the kickoff duties. Mason McMath brings it out across the 15, 20, 25, 30. Out to the 32-yard line on the return. Well, now it's the next level of Mike Macdonald's defense. Justin Tucker has a moment with Marlon Humphrey, one of the veterans who we will not see in preseason action, but we will see a whole lot of come September 9th when the season gets underway against the New York Jets. Titans will start their drive at the Tennessee 31. Willis remains at quarterback. Short run by Julius Chestnut. Gain of a few. We head down to the field. Evan Washburn is standing by.
Yeah, most people know this guy. All-Pro tight end Mark Andrews. Not in pads tonight for good reason. But before we reflect on this game and this season, I mentioned it. All-Pro last year was a career year. What do you think led to it?
You know, I've been able to learn a lot, throughout the years. Just keep on growing. We have a great organization here, a great team, great coaches, and for me, it's all about just getting better, helping this team win, try to win as many games as possible. But I'm just looking forward to this year, and this team, and what we can do.
Yeah, with the way last year ended, not the way anybody in this building with this organization wanted. What did it do for the motivation for you as you worked in the offseason?
Just staying hungry. We know we have a lot of guys coming back that are working real hard to get healthy. and become the team that we know we can be. So with all these guys coming back, they're hungry, we're hungry, and we're a bunch of fighters. We said it last year. This organization's a bunch of fighters. That's the type of guys that we bring in here.
Let's dive into this tight end room because it's starting to look a little 2019-y when you got Isaiah Likely making plays and obviously Nick coming back healthy, you doing what you do. What's the best version of this tight end position this year?
Man, we're versatile, man. You see Isaiah out here making big-time plays. He's just got a natural feel for the game. But like you said, Nick's coming back. We got Pat Ricard. Josh Oliver's out here balling out, and Tony Poljan and Ben Mason. So we got a dangerous group. We're going to be able to use a lot of sets, a lot of different things, and the receivers are doing their thing too.
What stood out to you about Lamar? We spent a lot of time talking about the body. He's looking a little bigger, but it feels like it was a really strong offseason for him. What's been the return early in camp from your perspective?
He's hungry. He's always been hungry. He just wants to win, man. This is our 5th year going on right now, and he said it all the time. All he cares about is winning, getting a Super Bowl, and so he looks incredible right now. He's throwing the ball incredibly well. Bodies looks great. So I'm excited for that first game.
Yeah, give us a sense. Lastly, here, it feels like it's a while away, but it'll come quick. The idea of running out in week 1 and getting this thing going.
It's going to be surreal, man. I wish we were playing here, but we got the best fans in the country. But like I said, 9/11 against the Jets, it's going to be awesome.
Good luck. Stay healthy. Great to see you.
Appreciate you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Mark Andrews has had a terrific training camp. He's grown into a true Pro Bowl and All-Pro. His connection with Lamar Jackson is epic. Those two are just always on the same page. Now you add Isaiah Likely to the mix, along with Nick Boyle, who's healthy. It is a powerful tight end room again. The quarterback now in for the Tennessee Titans. That's Logan Woodside. Throws a completion to the 30-yard line and down to the 27-yard line. With the reception is Terry Goodwin. He'll move the chains for Tennessee as we take a look at the tight ends for the Ravens. Andrews coming off of the first season in which a Raven tight end caught more than 100 passes. Think about that. Nick Boyle healthy after a difficult year with the knee injury. Isaiah Likely, we've seen him in the first half, and he is something to be excited about. All of a sudden, Greg Roman has a lot of options. And he'll have to find ways to have 3 tight ends on the field at the same time. Woodside throws the screen for the Titans. And down inside the 20-yard line is Hassan Haskins.
I'm pretty sure
with an 8-yard gain.
Coach Roman's going to find a way to get his best. Because what you want to do as a coach is get your best players on the field. And if his best players is 3 tight ends, 1 receiver, 2 running backs, then that's what he's going to do. He's not shy about that. We know that. It'd be great to see how they use those 3 guys outside the receiving core that they have, and the running backs that can come back. And looking even at Mike Davis, I think Mike can be a big part of that, just for the fact I think he's physical and he can't tackle that guy in space by yourself. So it'd be great to see that.
Offense, 61. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Backs the Titans up into a 2nd down and 8. What I love about the Ravens 3 tight end potential package that we're talking about is typically when you see 3 tight ends, you think goal line, big bodies, blocking for the run. When you bring in a Mark Andrews, we've seen it from Isaiah Likely, you can shift those guys out into the slot or even wide, and all of a sudden the defense is thinking big bodies, and now you have instant mismatch.
Yeah, if you go, they're going to see 13 personnel. They're going to go maybe stay base, maybe bring in another safety and take a corner out, and then you extend the formation. Now your matchup that you like is so much better.
Intercepted by the Ravens as Worley comes down with a pick. Just signed this week. The veteran comes down with the interception. And the Ravens defense comes up with the 2nd forced turnover of the preseason opener. 17-10 Ravens, 4 and change left in the 3rd quarter of the Ravens Game Day Network.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
So the Ravens forced their second turnover of this ball game. Darryl Worley just signed this past week to give some depth to the cornerback position.
Yeah, he did a great job of cutting the receiver off, made the receiver dip back outside. He goes back underneath. It's an underthrown ball, easy pick, but you got to catch the ones that come your way. We saw
Pepe
Williams miss his interception in the first quarter. So you got those opportunities as a defensive back. You got to take advantage of it. I would love to see the Ravens right now take a shot down the field to loosen up the defense.
They show power formation. They'll give it to Nate McCrary on the carry. McCrary will pick his way through a pile out to about the 5-yard line to give Anthony Brown a little breathing room. McCrary was with this team last year, really popped in preseason. Unfortunately, he was picked up, and Denver stashed him on their practice squad for a while, but the Ravens are excited to have him back here. Let's head back down to the field and Evan Washburn.
Thanks, Jerry. Here with Calais Campbell. What's it like to experience a turnover when you're not in pads and able to really get in the action?
Yeah, I feel like a fan a little bit, I'm rooting for these young guys, seeing them make plays, and I mean, this is an opportunity. Everybody's fighting for a job, and so, just seeing these guys compete, taking turns on the plays, it's fun to watch.
Calais, let's go back to the offseason. You had some options. You decided to come back to Baltimore. Why?
I really believe in this team, and I believe we have all the pieces in place to do something special. Everybody right now wants to win a championship. Everybody believes they can win a championship. But I truly believe this team has all the pieces in place. We're a very talented team, and if we do like we're supposed to, we really prepare and we stay locked in the moment, take care of the small things, we have a chance to win a Super Bowl.
You're 15. Well, what motivates you on a day in and day out basis, especially right now when it's a grind?
Yeah, I really enjoy it, so the motivation doesn't take much. But I want to win a Super Bowl. That's the goal.
Mike McDonald takes over as defensive coordinator. What best describes his style and what you think he'll bring as he orchestrates this thing?
He brings like a youthness to just the coordinator position. Brings a lot of energy. I think he has a strong fire inside of him. He loves the game of football. He tries to really take every moment and just really make sure we're on the same page. And it's fun to see. I'm rooting for him. I'm a big fan of his as a person. And so, I think we have a lot of talent. So he's going to be a great coordinator.
You ever get on him because you're older than him?
No, but we do talk a lot. We share a lot of just stories, and we have a good bond. It's like a friendship. When I was younger, you kind of reporter, you always see him as like authority, and you don't really talk to him. You don't have a relationship. But now, as you get older, and they're like same age as you, were scoring at the same time, you have a bond, a relationship. So it's cool to see.
Yeah, let's be real. We're in the golden generation here, our mid to late 30s. We got to tell these young kids what's going on.
Yeah, hey, I'm like an uncle in the locker room. I'm talking to all the young bucks all the time. They come to me for advice. It's like that. Outside of football too, like just life advice. But I take great pride in that. I love being a big brother to the guys.
Uncle Calais, great to see you. Good luck this year.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I got news for Evan and Calais. Your mid-30s is not the sunset of life. Anthony Brown, he's almost intercepted. He got lucky with that one. After this drive for our radio partners on our simulcast, let's get you caught up. Benjamin Victor with a first down reception to move the chains. Nate McCrary with a 21-yard run and then a 1-yard run. And then that time Anthony Brown was lucky. He almost got picked, but the defensive back could not hold on to it. And the Ravens are looking at a 3rd down and 9. The ball is at their 40-yard line.
A miscommunication between receiver, quarterback. Quarterback thought it was going to be out breaking route, quicker route. Receiver went down the field.
Now Brown will try to convert on 3rd down with Nate McCrary in the backfield with him. Brown with time, going deep near sideline. Look for Shamar Bridges, who makes the catch. A sensational reach-back grab. Bridges with a touchdown to close the first half, and he keeps the drive alive with a huge grab down the sideline. A 38-yard gain.
And just to go. He runs a go route. The defender never turns his head. And when you don't see the ball, the defender is hard to play the ball. Great job by Bridges just getting up and bodying him like a big body that he has and use that to his advantage.
Brown comes right back on 1st down and throws complete to Jalen Moore, who spins down for a 9-yard gain in the Grill Mates red zone to the 11-yard line.
Yeah, Mr. Brown throws the ball up. He believes in his player. Look at Bridges kind of fend off the defender, and at the last second turns around and catches it with his body. Defense back never look back for the ball. And if you don't look back for the ball, it's hard to play. In the National Football League, if DBs don't see it coming down the field, it's going to be hard to make plays. And then Bridges, he definitely took advantage of it.
Nate McCrary looking for a crease, pushing his way forward. He'll be close to the first down, right at the marker at the 12-yard line. Should move the chains if he gets a favorable spot. Let's say Anthony Brown, I haven't really watched him that much in training camp because I've had all eyes on Lamar and Huntley.
Right.
Really impressed with how he throws the ball.
He's thrown it well so far.
He has.
He definitely has. And he's given his players opportunities to make plays in contested areas, and they're doing that for him.
8 of 10 passing for 110 yards. Shy of the first down. Nope, now they say he had it. 1st and 10. They can still get a first down, and ball's at the 12-yard line. Brown with time from the pocket, slims to the end zone, incomplete. He wanted Mekhi Polk.
He tried to thread that needle in that tight coverage. The defender was right there, kind of underplayed it, which that's what he wants to do into the goal line. There's a lot. It was 4 Titans there. And he tried to thread that needle. It was a nice pass, but better defense that time.
Jerry Sandusky, Rod Woodson with you on the Ravens Game Day Network, presented by Geico. 3rd quarter, final seconds, 18 seconds left in the 3rd frame. Raleigh Webb comes in motion. Brown will keep it on the read option, gets around the edge, stiff arms a man and gets inside the 10. He went Derrick Henry that time on a linebacker and dropped Jack Gibbons with a stiff arm.
The stiff arm. The stiff arm.
I mean, that's straight Derrick Henry.
Yeah, just a read.
I mean, it's one thing if Derrick Henry dropped you with a stiff arm. This is a quarterback. Linebacker's going to get chewed up in the meeting room.
Oh, they're going to mess with him. Yeah, they're definitely going to talk about him quite a bit.
And that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter with the Ravens in front, 17-10 on the Ravens Game Day Network. For each sack made by the Ravens during this 2022 season, Constellation, America's energy choice, will send one group of students to visit the Power Up exhibit at the Maryland Science Center. To learn more, visit BaltimoreRavens.com/sacks for science. Good pressure by the defensive front tonight. Stephen Means getting the sack streak started.
Good pressure on quarterback.
This is the one I love. Tyler Jones.
Big fella.
Getting outside the numbers and dropping the quarterback.
Yeah, when you have athletes like that, they can get out of the pocket and bring the quarterback down in space. They're special.
Anthony Brown on 3rd and 5 in the Grill Mates red zone, batted down at the line of scrimmage. Ola Adonai got all of his mitt on that one. And that will bring the kicking team back on as Justin Tucker, who hit in the first half from 47. Check that in the 3rd quarter from 47. And now try to extend the Ravens lead to 10. Fairly routine stuff here for Tucker, a 25-yard field goal try, but there's nothing routine about breaking in a new holder in Jordan Stout. For the snapper, Stout's hold is good. Tucker's through the uprights, and the Ravens lead is 10. 20-10, Ravens in front of the Titans. 14:53 left to play in the preseason opener. John Harbaugh happy with what he sees on the Ravens Game Day Network. To 10, Ravens in front of the Titans. 14:53 left to play in the preseason opener. Rod, the numbers are starting to pile up for the Ravens offense with 315 total yards.
Well, I can tell you that Greg Roman and Coach Harbaugh is going to be very happy with that outside of the penalties and the big plays that have been made down the field. The 3rd down conversions have been outstanding tonight. I think the offense has done a really good job. I think they've really came out, executed everything that Greg Roman wanted. Energy, execution, effort. I think that has been definitely, all 3 have been checked off. They've done a great job so far throughout this game.
Jordan Stout handling the kickoff tonight. Terry Godwin sensibly lets that one sail out of the back of the end zone as we turn our attention now to September. And the start of the schedule, it starts on the road this year on 9/11 in New York, so that will be a very emotional day for the entire nation as the Ravens face the Jets in the Meadowlands. Year 2 under Robert Saleh, Zach Wilson at quarterback. They'll be facing this new defense from Mike McDonald. That'll be a great way to start things off. And then the home opener against the Dolphins as we look at another new head coach in Mike McDaniel. And then Bill Belichick and the Patriots week 3. A great play off the edge by Geno Stone, dropping the running back for the Titans back at the 20-yard line. Trenton Cannon had nowhere to go as Geno Stone jetted into the backfield.
Well, Geno's wearing a really good number, so he has to represent. And he made the tackle in space, which that's what you want from your defenders. When they get in space with these offensive players nowadays, you want them to make sure they make the tackle, secure that tackle. He did that.
Drops Cannon for a 4-yard loss. 2nd and 14. Logan Woodside at quarterback. Working with an empty backfield on an obvious passing down. Looking to the left. finds his man right at the 26-yard line. That is Chigozium Okanakwa. Desperately needs a nickname.
I'm glad you said that name and I didn't have to say it.
I'm going to call him CO from now on. Please don't throw it to 85 anymore.
Yeah, but it was 2nd and long. Number 2 ran an out route, tried to get it to make it 3rd and manageable.
That's what the Titans hope to have here, 3rd and 9. Donald bunches 6 along his defensive front. He's bringing them all. And that leads to an incompletion. And a flag thrown in the backfield.
Yeah, I think it's roughing the passer.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense 51. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's Jeremiah Moon, the young man out of Florida who we told you looked the part.
He's right there. Ball's gone. Oh, hit him in the head. That's why. Can't have no contact above the shoulders of a quarterback.
And Moon knew it the second he did it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in that situation, I would stop, try to get vertical, or if anything, hit him, try to go a little lower.
You do feel for defensive players in the NFL now because you're fighting so hard to get to the quarterback, and then if you literally touch his helmet, it's a 15-yard penalty. Woodside hit again, and again he throws incomplete. This time no flag on the play.
It is with the rule changes and the protection of quarterbacks in the pocket and out of the pocket, the receivers down the field as defenseless. It is tougher. You just don't know how to play. Now they're telling you how to make hits, where to make hits, and you have to adjust your game. You really do. Is it hard? Yes, it is. But it's your responsibility to adhere to the rules changes? Yes, it is.
And you understand why they want to protect quarterbacks. Now the quarterbacks can cost as much as $40-some million a year.
Well, that's not why it's just the quarterbacks protecting. They want to protect all players from injury, and the quarterbacks are the ones in the pocket. They do touch the ball the most, so they want to say they are the most valuable. I do argue that at times, but overall, they're trying to do a better job of protecting the player throughout the downs.
Geno Stone was thinking pick 6, tried to undercut the ball that was thrown to Briley Moore McKinney. McKinney able to make the catch, sets up a 3rd down and 4 for Tennessee. Ball is out there, 47, 13.5 minutes left in this ball game. Talking about quarterbacks and contracts, it's one of the big question marks for the Ravens in this summer. Will Lamar Jackson get his deal done? Lamar shared with us earlier this summer he is optimistic. Woodside's pass is complete down to the 42-yard line. It's Briley Moore and McKinney. Lamar said if a deal does not get done at some point before the season opening game, he'll put a deadline out, at which point he won't talk about it until the offseason. But he shared with us that talks are going well. He sits directly with Eric DeCosta. They talk through everything, and Lamar feels very optimistic, as does John Harbaugh, that they will get a deal done.
It's so weird that the player is doing the negotiating.
I would have to say unprecedented in this era for quarterbacks. Almost any player. Woodside going deep to the end zone. Geno Stone is back there, and he breaks it up at the goal line. That ball was intended for Traylon Burks. Geno Stone had that one read perfectly and put it down. So for Lamar Jackson, it started back in 2018. He was Ozzie Newsome's final first-round pick as the Ravens traded back into the first round to make the final pick in that round. The former Louisville Cardinal, a Heisman Trophy winner. A year later, he's the unanimous MVP, the youngest player to win that award since Jim Brown, the first quarterback with multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons. And he's already the 7th on the all-time quarterback rushing list in NFL history after 4 seasons.
Well, we know he's going to break that, so.
He's only about 3,000 yards shy of Michael Vick's all-time record.
Full start by the offensive line.
And if a deal does not get done, it's not panic mode, because the Ravens, if they couldn't get a deal done in the offseason, they have the franchise tag and obviously would use that. But it's to each side, not just for the Ravens and Lamar, to get the longer-term deal done instead of the franchise tag. Ozzie Newsome has known this for years. Eric DeCosta knows it. when you pay a player under the franchise tag, that entire salary goes immediately on the salary cap.
Very hard to build a roster when you're franchising players on your team, and when that amount of money, especially the quarterbacks, go against the cap in one given year, it's hard to sign players.
So penalty flag down after the Hassan Haskins screenplay put the ball down to the 32.
Offense, 82. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
And it will be backed up. And so here's a number to keep in mind as you look at players' salaries. I call it the 14% solution. In the Super Bowl salary cap era, no team has won the Super Bowl when any one player on the roster accounted for more than 14% of the salary cap.
Right.
When you put a quarterback on the franchise tag, you get very close to that number. That's the danger. That's what you try to avoid. Whereas with a longer term deal, you can spread those numbers out. It's more creative math, more creative accounting, and it's less of a year-to-year hit on the salary cap. On 2nd and 25, Woodside across the middle, deflected and picked off. The Ravens come up with another turnover.
That's a nice interception.
Geno Stone on deflection, and he snatches it.
Deflection, he gets the third.
So the Ravens forcing their third turnover of the game, and that'll put the offense back in the field when we get back. 11:56 left to play. The Ravens lead at 20-10 on the Ravens Game Day Network. Ravens lead it by 10, 20-10, with just under 12 minutes left to play in this ball game. The defense has forced 3 turnovers. That started back in the first quarter when Kyle Hamilton, the first-round draft pick, came thumping in to recover the fumble. That was forced by the Ravens front 7. That's classic Ravens defense. Aggressive front 7, opportunistic back end in the secondary. And the Ravens forcing 3 turnovers tonight. They have not turned the ball over on offense.
And it's something they've been working on all training camp. Getting turnovers, recovering the fumbles.
Corey Clement on the run for a couple of yards. Fourth quarter of tonight's broadcast brought to you by the Toyota RAV4. RAV4 is the official SUV of the Baltimore Ravens. Down to the field, Evan Washburn standing by with Ravens linebacker Patrick Queen.
Jerry, thanks. Well, Patrick, I know you've earned the right to be here and not be playing in this game, but when you see this many turnovers, guys feasting, you get itchy, like you want to get out there and maybe get your hands on one of these balls?
Hell yeah. Coach came up to me and like, you're not playing this week. I was like, nah, I want at least one series. And he was like, no. I was like, give me one series. He was like, no. So that's what it was. But just guys going out there and do what they do every week in practice. You know, we compete, we practice turnovers, we practice all that stuff. So they're just doing what we practice.
Does that speak to your urgency heading into this year?
Yeah, it does. You know, Harbaugh preached like we did not want to be where we was last year. You know, we was 8-3 and lost 6 in a row, and that's not us. That's not real football.
When you look at what your priorities were this offseason, when you factor in what you've learned over the last 2 years, what stands out?
Patience, really. I know a lot of things came to me early on as a rookie, not having preseason, not having all the things that these guys have now. So it was hard for me to learn rookie year. Then coming in the second year, you get thrown in that fire, more stuff thrown at you, and now you get to learn again. So now it's year 3. It's a time where I always blow up year 3. So now it's just time to just take all those things that I got, patience, conditioning, how to eat right, all those things, studying, and just putting them in the one season now.
A lot of discussion for good reason about the safety position. Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton, obviously got Chuck there as the kind of leader of the group. What's that offer this defense in terms of what you can do this year?
A lot of versatility. With all those guys that you just named, all of them can run, all of them can cover, all of them can blitz and get to the quarterback. So it's hard to say what they're going to do, but just know it's going to be a show.
Spoke to Calais earlier. He's the uncle in the room. Your defensive coordinator is kind of like maybe a cousin or a younger uncle. What's it like to have him calling this defense?
You know, it's great right now. Just seeing all the guys interact with him, how he give us feedback and stuff, and just you know, we got a few grandpas on the team with Calais, Justin Houston, all them guys. You know, so it's a collective unit right now. Just like I said, Mike communicates with everybody on the same page about everything, so we love it.
Patrick, great to see you. I'll take that watch whenever you need to move on to upgrade to the next one.
Anytime, just let me know.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Patrick Queen now in year 3. You just heard him say this is the year he expects that big breakthrough and become the player they had in mind when they used the first-round pick on Patrick Queen. Ravens hand it off to Corey Clement for our radio partners in our simulcast while Evan was talking with Patrick Queen. Ben Mason caught a pass for a short gain. Anthony Brown with a scramble for 9 yards that kept the drive alive. And Shamar Bridges, who has flashed tonight with another nice reception. So the Ravens now looking at a 3rd down and 3. Ball is inside the Tennessee 30 with just under 9 minutes to play in the ball game. We talked about the wide receivers in the battle for that 5th spot. Some of these guys might be in the fight for the 4th spot. Yeah, this is game on. These guys have some ability.
These guys have played well tonight, and you know, but you got to do it come next week and then the following week. Consistency is the key in the national football.
Oh, Anthony Brown had Corey Clement. Brown did a great job of extending the play, but Clement couldn't handle the pass at the 20. And here comes Justin Tucker, who has already connected from 47 and 25. Jerry Sandusky, Ron Woodson with you on the Ravens Game Day Network, presented by Geico on this preseason opener. The Ravens looking for a 21st consecutive preseason win. They already hold the record for most in a row in 20, having passed Vince Lombardi's Packers a year ago. As a general rule of thumb, you pass Vince Lombardi's Packers, good things are happening. Here's Tucker from 47. The hold is good. The kick is good. And Justin Tucker, to no surprise, 3 for 3 tonight. And he extends the Ravens lead to 23-10 on the Ravens Game Day Network.
Ravens preseason football is brought to you by DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the Baltimore Ravens. By AAA, roadside is our strong side. At home or on the road, AAA has you covered. By Constellation, the Baltimore Ravens energy choice. By Geico, whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Go to geico.com today. By M&T Bank, the official bank of your Baltimore Ravens. And by MedStar Health, the official medical team of the Baltimore Ravens and you. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people.
Ravens fans, save the date. You can watch the Ravens kick off the 2022 season with a flock on Sunday, September 11th. Countdown to kickoff, presented by Miller Lite, returns to Power Plant Live with live music and the ultimate watch party to see the Ravens open the season at the Jets. Look for details at BaltimoreRavens.com/CTK. Well, right now, the Ravens looking for the TKO as they lead it 23-10 with 8:30 left to play here in the preseason opener. Jordan Stout has certainly shown why the Ravens used the 4th-round pick on him. His punting has been on point, his holding has been on point, and his kickoffs have been solid as well. High end over end. Terry Godwin brings it out across the 10, 15, 20. He's got an alley. Near side 30, 40. Flag is down, and Jordan Stout is going to get him out of bounds. But a flag is down back at the 23-yard line, which likely means this kickoff return will be negated. Jordan Stout might need a little work on the tackling game.
During the return. Holding. Number 57 of the return team. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout.
But you like to keep the rookies humble by having something to work on as we look at a beautiful night in Baltimore and a beautiful score as well. 23-10 on the Ravens Game Day Network.
You know, recover a fumble in the rain, right?
Hey, don't step on my line. Don't step on my line.
There you go. Yeah, tell me. Get her. Get her.
We told you it was a different kind of training camp for John Harbaugh earlier this week with the heat up around 100 degrees. He closed practice with a rain fumble drill, which was just a great way for guys to just have some fun, turn the hose on everybody, and have the vets have fun with the rookies.
I mean, you are cooling off, but it is the likelihood you're going to play in rain.
Especially in the AFC North.
Yeah, and to learn how to handle a football and to recover a football in the rain is completely different when it's dry. So it's good for the guys because they did like cool them off, but it is a really good tactic for the head coach to do something like that.
Titans take possession at the 10-yard line. They'll go to the ground game, and they won't get far as Hassan Haskins is limited to a couple of yards on the play. This is only Tennessee's 3rd possession of the half. Each of the first 2 possessions ended with Mike McDonald's defense picking off the ball. Coaches are never going to get euphoric in preseason, but you have to think the coaches feel like this team took the step they wanted them to in the first preseason game.
Well, they did everything right. Made some plays. Defensive line got out to the quarterback. All the players rallied to the ball. When you intercept the ball that comes your way, you definitely help your football team out. To getting the strip sack early, or the strip fumble early, and recovering that from Hamilton, setting up the first touchdown was critical for the football team.
Woodside's pass sets up a 3rd down and 3. 7.5 minutes left to play in the ball game. Ravens bring a blitz up the middle. Logan Woodside throws complete to the 20-yard line. And that will keep the Titans offense on the field as Terry Godwin gets out to the 24-yard line. Geno Stone, who's had a nice second half, securing the tackle. Titans on the inside handoff, not much room there. If there's one place you're not going to find a lot of opening, it's the inside of the Ravens defense. This team is built to stuff the run. They were #1 against the run a year ago. Anthony Weaver, the defensive line coach, does a tremendous job. A former Ravens defensive lineman himself. He knows about the traditions. He knows about the expectations. And this defensive line is looking like it could be better this year with the infusion of the young talent, Travis Jones, and the development of Justin Matabike. Woodside throws, short pass complete to Godwin at the 30, and he is hit hard by Geno Stone. Check that. By Josh Ross, a rookie free agent out of Michigan.
Yeah, just a spacing route. And I really like to see the once one goes away, the linebacker would get closer to 2. Because 3's on the other side, so he knows he can't let number 2 come back and cross his face. So learning the game little by little by little, and they played extremely well this year. Coach is going to keep growing their knowledge of the game and defenses, and they'll keep getting better and faster to the ball.
And with so much of the young talent Anthony Weaver has to work with, he's not just going to be able to help develop young rush stuffers. He believes some of these guys are going to become quality pass rushers as well. Titans have to punt after a drop pass on 3rd down. Gives Epping Williams a chance to settle under a punt. And he's going to wish he hadn't called a fair catch because he had all kind of room.
Oh, my God. Don't fair catch it.
A rookie learning curve. 23-10. Ravens lead in 4th quarter. 5:54 on the Ravens Game Day Network. Ravens lead the Tennessee Titans. 5:54 to play in the 4th quarter. 4th quarter is brought to you by the Toyota RAV4. It's been a big second half, big game for Shamar Bridges. Closed the first half with a touchdown grab. He's the tallest member of this receiving corps, and Rod, he's showing the ability to use that length the coaches like.
Well, he did that in the red zone, and then he had a deep ball very similar to that. And going up and make those contested catches from a big receiver. I mean, the rest of the receiving corps, for the most part, the guys who are playing are all like 5'11"-ish. Outside of the tight end. We know they're 6'4", 6'5", 6'4". Having a receiver big when you're getting matched up to 5'10" corners, and he's 6'4", and he has a 33-inch vert, that is critical to come down with footballs like he did today. That's just a big advantage for the Ravens offense.
So Brett Hundley is now the third quarterback in the game for the Ravens. Former Green Bay Packer. Play action on first down. Rolls to the right and throws complete to Ben Mason for a short gain out to the 13, but a flag is down. Thrown in the backfield. This is traditionally where you see a hold. And that will back Hundley closer to the goal line. Hundley's a 7-year veteran. His big season was back in 17 when he was the backup to Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers suffered the collarbone injury that gave Hundley a shot at 9 starts.
Offense 61. After the goal. First down.
Jared Jones-Smith picking up the flag.
Again, hands outside the shoulder pad. Quarterback goes on a boot. He's trying to bring the guy back to him, but once your hand gets out, they're going to call it.
Just ask Isaiah Likely.
That's all he has to do. They got to work on that together.
And I know just the guy to help him with. Hundley at the goal line from the gun, inside handoff. It's Corey Clemens, sidesteps one tackler, gets himself out to about the 15-yard line.
And it's late in the game. You know, I think they're going to, for the most part for the Ravens, just run the football. You know, the boots, like we saw on the first down, is a real safe play. It should be a really safe call for your coordinator, unless you're tackling opponents.
Bunch formation on the right. Inside handoff to Clement. He will just get across the 15. It will set up a third down. The ideal scenario here is just to find ways to get the first down markers to move so you can get the time to move off the clock. Mike Vrabel and the Titans.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if they do something of a spacing where they take all 4 receivers, space them out across 5-yard line or 5 yards down the field, you got a great opportunity to get the first down.
I told you what Greg Roman was looking for tonight: energy, effort, and execution. He has seen all 3 of those throughout this game. See if he can get the execution part here on third down. Hundley going up top, near sideline. Raleigh Webb makes the catch, and he's out to midfield as he holds on to it. And that's execution. Brett Hundley with a beautiful throw to Raleigh Webb, a rookie free agent from the Citadel, who ran under that ball like a center fielder.
So now what they do is they go trips. They run number 1 on a hitch, which is like a 5-yard stop. They run 2 on a fade. So now he just fades away from the defender. That is a hard route to cover. That's a really great call by the offense.
Hundley throws complete to Devin Williams, and Williams pinballs his way down near the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him just shy of the first down. To go back to Raleigh Webb, here's a young guy who's a special teams player and receiver at the Citadel. Has already caught John Harbaugh's attention as a great special teamer in training camp, and now he shows off some receiving skills and a burst of speed.
Well, you know John's going to look for special teams. I mean, that's who he grew up being a special team coach. So he's going to try to look for those guys who can give time to the special teams and then work their way into the regular lineup.
Hundley will hand it off to Nate McCrary. McCrary will pick up the first down, getting down to the 32-yard line with 3:14 left to play in the ball game. As we go back to this catch and throw, the throw and catch to Raleigh Webb.
Yeah, well thrown ball, great catch, and a great really a great catching the ball, making that contact down the field. I mean, he did get hit. He got popped right on the ball. He still held it in. Concentrating to make that catch down the field.
Ravens fans, today's win means we're projecting the Ravens a winner of this game. It means tomorrow you get 50% off Papa John's regular menu price pizzas, either in-store or online by using the promo code RAVENS50. Go to the app for papajohns.com to redeem this offer, valid at participating stores. And the Ravens continue to make progress as Hundley gets the ball down inside the 35. Huntley in the first half, now Hundley at the end of the second half. A little bit challenging the quarterback room. Hundley? Yes. Hundley? No, Hundley. Hundley? That's the nickname. That time Hundley is wrapped in sack back at the 39-yard line. It'll set up a 3rd and long as we reach the 2-minute warning.
I'm pretty sure they have nicknames in.
Snoop for Huntley. 2 minutes left to play here in Baltimore as the Ravens lead the preseason opener 23-10 on the Ravens Game Day Network.
NFL Plus is here, and this is how you football. Bringing you live out-of-market preseason games, live local and primetime regular season games.
And there goes Cooper Kupp.
45-minute game replays and more.
For the end zone. Chase!
This is the NFL for every fan. This is football freedom. This is your game on the go.
Touchdown!
Wherever you are. This is how you football. NFL Plus. Start your free trial today.
Leidos and the Ravens are partnering to tackle addiction. You can join our team and help by checking in your medical cabinets and getting rid of unused or expired medicine. To learn more, go to leidos.com/opioids. 2 minutes left to play here in Baltimore. Ravens in front of the Titans, 23-10. Jerry Sandusky, Ron Woodson with you on the Ravens Game Day Network, presented by Geico. This preseason opener has gone checkbox, checkbox, checkbox. The Ravens coaching staff seeing what they wanted to see, both sides of the ball. Brett Hundley trying to finish it off. He's hit from behind. The ball squirts out. No whistle yet. Still loose. The Titans fall on it and say they recover it at the 48-yard line of the Tennessee Titans. But I think when you look at this again, and again, it's a booth review, no challenge flag inside of 2 minutes, you'll see Hundley's hand, I believe, going forward.
It was coming forward. He got hit, yes, but his hand was still coming forward.
Yep, it's clearly going forward.
Even though through the hit. So that should be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, this should be a booth initiated
because
review.
The ball was still in his hand when he was coming forward. It wasn't out of his hands.
If this is regular season, John Harbaugh is a little bit more.
Yeah, but physics with
body language of this one.
The ball, his hand was coming forward because the ball got ejected that way and it didn't get hit by the defender.
Right. So you take another look. Now let's just pretend it's September or October, and you're looking at this. His hands forward. There's not a lot of controversy there. So Brad Allen is waiting to hear from the replay booth.
The guys in New York should be saying his hand, the ball was in his hand, it was coming forward, it's an incomplete ball. We shouldn't be waiting anymore.
It was a 3rd and long play.
They're giving him the ball?
And they're giving him the ball. Well, I can tell you this.
What?
If this is a play that happens in the fall, emotions would be running a lot higher than they are at the moment. Inside hands off, and the Ravens defense is fired up as they bury the ball carrier back at the 44-yard line for a 3-yard loss.
The defense has played extremely well today.
Great start to the Mike McDonald era. Woodside throws across the middle, complete. Ravens side of the 50. Terry Godwin getting the ball down to the 46-yard line. Mike McDonald had a chance to really see what some of the young players could do in the physicality of a game. Something you just, with the new way the Ravens do training camp, you're not going to see that every day in practice, but he got to see it tonight.
Yeah, and the defense front played extremely well. I really believe that they stopped the run. They got out to the quarterback. Everybody was in their spots. The secondary got their turnovers when called for. They got after the football. Doing the turnover drills almost every day in training camp has helped them. Just a reminder to these guys how important the ball is.
Play the ball, not just the player. 1st and 10. Tennessee, 1:07 left to play in the ball game. Woodside flush from the pocket. Throws complete down to the 32-yard line. Briley Moore McKinney. They're going to say he was out of bounds, incomplete. Stops the clock with 1 minute even. Nice start for Kyle Hamilton in his preseason debut. Coming up with a fumble recovery in the first half and just showing his range. His range is mind-boggling.
Yes.
The amount of ground we saw him cover and the instinct he showed to know how to find the gap. It's all the stuff we heard from Joe Ortiz and Eric DeCosta when they talked about why he was such a no-brainer to come off the board in the first round, because they had been watching him for years on tape in person, and when he was available in the first round, there was probably not a card that went in any faster than the Ravens put his name in for the pick.
Yeah, and he's mature for his age, and he's mature because of his age, but also because his mother is a basketball coach. So that family, it kind of runs in their blood, and I'm pretty sure Mom being a coach, he kind of understands, you know, what's right and what's wrong. I'm pretty sure she has told him that over the years.
And he shows it. As we take a look at the Ravens draft class this year, David Ojabo, an edge rusher, is not yet practicing because he suffered a torn Achilles in his pro day, and that's what made him still available. He was a sure early first-round pick. Instead, he fell to the Ravens in the second round. If he plays this year, it won't be until later in November, December, but he will be on the long-term find in the second round. Travis Jones. He will be a long-term find in the second round. Travis Jones, we had a look at tonight. He looks like a huge impact player. John Harbaugh told us he thought he was a first-round talent, and I see what Eric DeCosta and his scouting team saw in Travis Jones, and it's not always easy to do. Travis Jones plays at UConn. He's a kid who's never left the state of Connecticut. The entire time he's in college, UConn's team was so bad they won 4 games, not in a season, the entire time.
Right.
So you have to evaluate, does that kid translate to the NFL? And in our first look at him in game action, I think Eric DeCosta and John Harbaugh are more than a little pleased with what they have.
Especially when you can find athletes and you put them inside of a system, they normally bode very well for that system.
Second down at the 31-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 102.
Brad Allen, the referee, is getting torture points for the fans who remain here at M&T Bank Stadium. He didn't overturn an obvious incomplete pass, but boy, they are milking this completion for the Titans with 1:02 left to play in the ball game. All 3 of the Ravens quarterbacks have to feel pretty good about their performance tonight.
And they have to come out and play well. You know you're going to back up number 8.
Inside to throw, his pass incomplete off the hands of Riley Moore McKinney. Sure, this is number 8's talent. It's his team. It's his game. But as we saw last year at the end of the season when he went out with a bone bruise, a running quarterback in a physical league, you have to have a backup that you are completely comfortable and confident with.
Yeah, I mean, I would believe they're going to go to camp or go into the season with 3 quarterbacks on the roster, on the active roster.
Good size pass on 3rd down is complete down to the 22-yard line.
And if they do that, then you can keep all of them. You can put one on practice.
Right. Riley Moore McKinney moves the chains. Final minute here in the preseason opener. Ravens defense looking for a stop. That's Jordan Wilkins taken off his feet at the 18-yard line, and a whistle for a timeout taken by the Tennessee Titans as Mike Vrabel trying to work on his 2-minute drill. And believe me, it's easy to have the mindset of why in the world would you call a timeout in a preseason. The reason is this is exactly what coaches want out of preseason. They want situational football.
Absolutely.
Where they can practice. They don't want the players thinking, okay, it's August and this game's out and this game's over. They want players thinking that, okay, in November we might see this exact situation. How are we going to handle it? And the same works for the defense of Mike McDonald.
Because you have those situations in practice, and you go through 2 minutes and all that stuff. But when you get these opportunities in preseason, you got to take advantage of them. As a coach, you got to see where everybody's at. You want to see the function of your 2-minute, how to call timeouts, who to talk to, how the guys are communicating with each other. I mean, the logistics of all of it has to come together.
For both sides of the ball. 2nd down and 6, 33 seconds left. All in the Grill Mates red zone. Woodside to throw. Slings it complete inside the 10. And Des Fitzpatrick steps out of bounds at the 8-yard line, stops the clock, puts the Titans in a 1st and goal situation with 29 seconds left.
And this is really good for even Mike McDonald to see how he wants to do his red zone, 2-minute red zone.
What coverages are you going to call with boot packages? Will you consider? Things that will pay dividends in September. Woodside to the end zone incomplete. Good coverage by Darryl Worley, who had an interception earlier in the game.
Yeah. I mean, I would really like to see Darryl Worley play a little outside shade. See where you see Stone coming in. They're in cover 4. So that you can be more on top of the receiver.
As Worley comes down with a pick. Just signed this week about broadcasting with Rod as he sees so many of the things on coverage that the Ravens are doing differently. Its defense comes up with a 2nd forced turnover of the preseason opener. 17-10 Ravens, 4 and change left in the 3rd quarter of the Ravens Game Day Network.
And then even there, the last play, how the Tennessee Titans ran a kind of a switch route. So now Coach McDonald will be able to go back out in there and say, you know what, when we do that, we don't want to switch or whatever else they want to kind of convert your defense to doing.
4th down and goal. Blitz coming. Woodside throws incomplete in the end zone. And for the 21st straight time in preseason, the Hayes in the barn. You can only imagine how thrilling that scenario would be if it happened in November.
Oh, absolutely.
John Harbaugh greeting the young defenders who come to the sideline, who stood up and kept the Titans out of the end zone. So the Ravens forced their second turnover of this ball game. Darryl Worley just signed this past week to give some depth to the cornerback position.
Yeah, he did a great job of cutting the receiver off, made the receiver dip back outside. He goes back underneath. It's an underthrown ball, easy pick, but you got to catch the ones that come your way. We saw
Pepe
Williams missed his interception in the first quarter. So you got those opportunities as a defensive back. You got to take advantage of it. I would love to see the Ravens right now take a shot down the field to loosen up the defense.
They show power formation. They'll give it to Nate McCrary on the carry. McCrary will pick his way through a pile out to about the 5-yard line to give Anthony Brown a little breathing room. McCrary was with this team last year, really popped in preseason. Unfortunately, he was picked up, and Denver stashed him on their practice squad for a while, but the Ravens are excited to have him back here. Let's head back down to the field and Evan Washburn.
Thanks, Jerry. Here with Calais Campbell. What's it like to experience a turnover when you're not in pads and able to really get in the action?
Yeah, I feel like a fan a little bit, I'm rooting for these young guys, seeing them make plays, and I mean, this is an opportunity. Everybody's fighting for a job, and so, just seeing these guys compete, taking turns on the plays, it's fun to watch.
Calais, let's go back to the offseason. You had some options. You decided to come back to Baltimore. Why?
I really believe in this team, and I believe we have all the pieces in place to do something special. Everybody right now wants to win a championship. Everybody believes they can win a championship.